Hey there, I'm Chasney.
And I'm Sandy.
And we are The Woods.
A weekly podcast where we discuss anything spooky, unexplainable, and just plain bizarre.
So please, come take a walk with us, because you never know what you're gonna find in the woods.
I believe in the evil in human nature.
She wouldn't even harm a flower.
Just like I would tell you, if you're going to do something, do it well. And leave something witchy. Leave aside to let the world know that you were there.
Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
You haven't watched the trailers yet for it or for...
No.
Oh my god, I can't wait till you watch them. The trailer we both watched was the Cats trailer, which was terrifying.
Oh yeah, that was terrifying. I still don't know what Cats is about a little bit. So
yeah. No, it's like, why? Who decided that it looked good? It looks horrible.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, well, welcome to Undercover Coven.
Welcome back.
How are you, the listener? I am Paula.
I am Alan.
And today we are here to entertain you, I hope.
I mean, yeah, we hope.
I hope. Well, first I wanted to shout out the Woods, who are doing their promo at the beginning of this episode, by the way.
Yes.
And check them out. They're really cool, and they do similar stuff to what we do. But they're in Canada. and they're really nice and really cool. And there's an update that Ale told me about. I mean, I knew about it, but I hadn't read anything about it, about Antares de la Luz. That is a cult we talked about a long time ago.
Yes, from Chile.
Yeah, that it's a cult that was like the mediocre cult we talked about. And well, the mother that threw the baby in the fire was caught recently. And they suspect that she maybe started another cult and that she had burned more babies. Yeah, that's always fun to know about.
Always. You know what pisses me off the most is that she's like, there's a picture of her standing in trial and she's crying. And it's like, bitch, don't cry. Don't be that bitch. Just own it.
Yeah, I mean, you burned your baby. Everybody knows about it.
And probably other ones.
Like, stupida. And the other shout out I wanted to give was 8-bit, what's the name?
Oh!
Chris.
Yeah, we were having a conversation with him.
Yeah. God damn it, I'm such a bad person. Yes, 8-bit Couch Podcast, and they're a podcast that talks about nerdy things. And Chris and I, the host, had a great conversation. We still have conversations about it, and yeah, he's really fun, and the podcast is really good. So check him out.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, if you can, if you want to support us, please donate on coffee.com, ko-fi.com/undercovercoven. If you can, buy us a coffee, and we would really appreciate it so much. Considering our electronics are failing us.
Yeah. We were just talking about it. My electronics are just all dying down.
My car doesn't start, like...
It says battery low. My wireless headphones, and I literally just took them out of the charging rack.
Oh my god.
I'm telling you, I paid $200 for these pieces of shit. And Best Buy wouldn't let me return them.
What the fuck?
We're back in business.
Okay. What was I talking about? Shoutouts. Did I have another shoutout?
Yes.
I just read something and I'm like, ooh, mention that. And I totally forgot. I suck.
You should mention. I don't know.
I suck. Okay.
It's okay.
Oh.
You were talking about coffee. Because our electronics are dying.
Oh, and I'm like, my car doesn't start. You know, I have to buy shit. I don't have a tire on my car either. Like, I swear.
So even if it start, like, you can't move it anywhere.
I can't buy another tire for my car that doesn't start. Like, I swear, the only thing I've done is watch Netflix and smoke cigarettes. And that's it. And why? Because my vaporizer...
I love how you have to specify that. Smoke.
It's just that my vaporizer is broken. And so I had to buy, you know, Lucky Strike cigarettes. I had to.
Sure.
No, it's not necessary. Don't smoke, people. It's not good for you.
No.
Okay, let's get on.
It's not even that. It's just so fucking expensive.
What?
It's not even that. Like, I don't care if you smoke and you're killing yourself or whatever the fuck it does to you. It's just really expensive. Also, an icon of an eye just showed up on the top of my screen and then it just disappeared.
Weird.
Somebody watching me?
Hi, FBI agent.
That's why I don't use Android, see? Fuck this Samsung tablet.
Fuck you. Watch it just turn off. It's just gonna turn off and it's gonna totally
It's like,
flake.
alright, bitch, if you don't want it, then buy.
Yeah. Cigarettes here aren't that expensive.
They're still expensive if you're buying them every day.
But I don't buy cigarettes every day.
But there's people that does. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's people that smokes like a pack or two a day, and that's, you know how much money that is a week?
Who?
There's people that buy, like,
Oh,
they smoke
yeah.
a pack
No,
or
it's
two
like,
a day.
It's like $14 a day.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
That is expensive. That's how much you make on a minimum paying job.
No, yeah, no, you're right. I don't smoke that often. So, like, it's okay for me.
Yeah.
Let's get on with today. So today we're going to be talking about... Do you want to continue or...
No.
Oh, okay. So today we're going to... Did you read anything about this dude I'm going to talk about?
No, I just saw the creepy pictures.
Oh.
And I just like, Paula will... she'll give me good information. But I looked it up and I saw the creepy pictures and I was like, nope.
Nope. Okay, so today we're going to talk about, and I'm going to pronounce this really wrong. I am so sorry, by the way. Tsutomu Miyazaki. And this dude, this piece of shit, was a Japanese serial killer, pedophile, cannibal, and necrophile, responsible for the deaths of at least
anything else?
4 little girls between 1988 and 1989. And yeah, let's get on with it because this is going to be disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tsutomu Miyazaki was born August 21st, 1962, and he died June 17th, 2008, and he's known as the Otaku Murderer, and or the little girl murderer.
Oh god.
And like I said, he was, serial killer, cannibal, child rapist, necrophile, who abducted and murdered 4 young girls between 1988 and 1989 in Saitama and Tokyo in Japan. So he was born premature.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a birth defect and where his the joints in his hands were fused together, mm-hmm. preventing him from being able to bend his wrists like I am doing right now. In your face.
Yeah. It's just, I remember the pictures.
Yeah, the pictures are going to be on Instagram. They're terrifying. You'll have fun. And also he was a lot shorter than other people because of his premature birth.
His birth defect. Oh, okay.
And because of his deformity in his hands, he was ostracized when he attended school. he was, really bullied, and he really kept to himself. And honestly, he was a star student during middle school and high school, but then suddenly his grades dropped dramatically, and he was ranked 40 out of 56 in his class. It's weird. Something happened to him there. He wanted to study English and become a teacher, but because of his drop in his grades, he could only go to junior college, local college, and study to be a photo technician. In the mid-1980s, Miyazaki moved back into his parents' house, and his father had a print shop, and he shared a room with his sister. His family was really influential in where they lived in Itsukaichi, because his dad owned a newspaper, but even because of this, Miyazaki said that he didn't want to take over the family job. The only thing he wanted to do was, according to him, be listened, because according to him, he had a lot of problems, and he just wanted to be listened to, and he was really sentimental.
So he needed a therapist?
Huh?
So he needed a therapist?
He needed a therapist, yeah. And his parents only cared about, I'm saying according to him, his parents only cared about material things, and, he said he wanted to commit suicide, but, he thought his parents didn't care.
No.
Miyazaki was also rejected by his sisters, and the only person who supported him was his grandfather. Unfortunately, in May of 1988, his grandfather died. And this only, fed his depression, and it isolated him even further. In an attempt to maintain his grandfather with him and have something of him, he ate his grandfather's ashes.
Gross.
And a few weeks later, one of his sisters caught him while she was taking a shower, and he was just looking at her. And the sister was like, "Dude, what the fuck?" She told him to leave, and Miyazaki attacked her. When his mom learned about this incident that happened, she demanded that he spend more time working and less time with his videos. He watched a lot of stuff, and then he attacked his mom as well, because #respect.
Yeah, that's how you do it. So my question was, I'm just gonna start from the beginning. Sorry, my alarm went off. But so the mom learns that he attacked his sister. First, he was peeking on her, and then attacked her when she was like, "Hey, what the fuck, leave!" And then the mom just goes, it just blames him. He tells him to go back to work and stop looking at videos, instead of being like, "Hey, what the fuck? Why were you looking at your sister? That's wrong."
Yeah. But then he attacked her.
And he also attacked her.
Yeah. So, whatever.
I'm not saying it was the parents' fault, but it was kind of the parents' fault.
I'm not saying it was their fault, but a little. Okay, so let's get into the murders.
Ooh.
Between August 1988 and June 1989. Fuck. Okay. I need another coffee. Between August 1988 and June 1989, Miyazaki mutilated and killed 4 girls between the ages of 4 and 7, sexually molested their corpses, and he even drank the blood of one of the victims and ate a part of her hand.
Oh.
These crimes were called the Little Girl Murders, and then were later called the Tokyo Saitama Serial Kidnapping Murders of Little Girls. And this whole thing rocked the place where they lived, because there were no crimes, and even less crimes with children involved.
Yeah.
So during the day, Miyazaki was, well-mannered. He carried himself well. And then outside of work, he was just this monster, and he randomly selected children to kill. And then I think the worst part is that he would write to the families of the victims, and he would send them letters saying like exactly what he did to the children. How horrible is that? That's
what the fuck?
Terrible.
That is like some reversed, fucked up Anatoly Muskin type of shit.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, he was like taking out dead little dead girls from their graves and writing to the families that he was taking care of them. As to what this guy was like killing them and then telling the families what he was doing.
Yeah.
Also eating them, but you know.
Police found that the families of the victims had, apart from like the letters, they had received silent phone calls from this dude. And Miyazaki would call, he would not say anything, and he would just breathe heavily. Typical horror movie shit.
Yeah.
And if they didn't answer his calls, he would call
He
repeatedly.
probably watched Black Christmas.
Huh?
He probably watched Black Christmas.
Probably. And if the family didn't answer the calls, he would call repeatedly, up to 20 minutes of the phone just ringing over and over and over again.
Fuck?
It's creepy. On August 22nd, 1988, one day after Miyazaki's 26th birthday, Marie Kano, a 4-year-old girl, vanished suddenly while playing at a friend's house. And after failed attempts to find her, her father called the police. Miyazaki had led Kano into his black Nissan and abducted her. He parked the car under a bridge in a wooded area. Then he sat alongside the girl for half an hour before ultimately murdering her. He then engaged in rape and sexual acts with the corpse and left the corpse in a hill near his home. He took her clothes with him and, left the body to decompose. And then he returned a few days later and ate her hand and feet.
Huh?
I mean, he ate the hand, but the feet he removed and then left it in his closet.
For him to eat later?
I don't know.
As a snacky snack?
Probably.
What the fuck?
When he had the munchies.
When he had the munchies. Oh my god.
Yeah. And
who is this person?
I know. And he...
you know what? I thought he was also older. He was pretty young.
Yeah, he was young. Yeah, he was executed when he was 45. So yeah, he was young.
They took that long?
Yeah. We'll get into it. Okay. Well, these feet and hands that he had, cut from this little girl were recovered after his arrest. And he charred her bones in a furnace, ground them into powder, and then sent them to her family in a little box, along with several of her teeth, photos of her clothes, and a postcard which read, "Mari, cremated, bones, investigate, prove."
In that tone of voice.
Probably. No, it was probably like, "Mari, cremated, bones, investigate, prove."
What the fuck? Yeah. I'm just like, okay, there's certain type of murders that I'm like, yeah, maybe this is what went through their head. I'm not saying that. I'm trying to put myself in their shoes and like, what were they thinking when they did it?
Yeah. No, I get it.
Some
totally.
of them are not understandable because you should never hurt another human being, especially not a child, and do it the way that he did. But with him, it's like, what was going... Like, killing her is one thing, but like... doing all this little extra, like, going those extra little miles to, like, send her ashes to her family.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it either. Like, with some serial killers, you can say, like, or for example, I'm gonna put it for example, Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, he killed men, and he ate those men. One, because he was, like, closeted gay, and then the other was that he was trying not to feel lonely. And you can kind of get it. Like, you can try to understand and kind of understand what, like, he was...
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But in this case, it's like, why little girls? Why the eating? Why the blood? I don't understand.
Yeah, why the, like, pictures of, like, send them to, like... To me, it just sounds like it was just, like, fun for him. It was, like, a game for him.
Yeah, it does sound like that.
He wasn't do it because he needed to kill. It was just like, oh, this seems kind of fun.
On October 3rd, 1988, Miyazaki was driving along a rural road when he spotted 70-year-old Masami Yoshizawa. He offered her a ride. She accepted. And then he drove to the same place under this bridge where he killed the first girl, Mari. And then he killed this new girl. He engaged in sexual acts. My TV turned on.
Oh. He's going to haunt us.
Oh no.
Because we're talking shit about him.
His hands. Oh god.
They're gonna slip from under your
Oh,
comforter
don't
tonight.
say that. Please don't say that. You know I get freaked out. Please don't say that. Anyway,
Okay.
He engaged in sexual acts with the corpse, took the girls home with him. On December 12, 1988, 4-year-old Erika Namba was returning home from a friend's house when Miyazaki kidnapped her, forced her into his car. Then he parked his car in Naguri, in this place, forced her to remove her clothes in the back seat, and then began taking pictures of her. See, this is weird. It's like not the same MO.
It's not, yeah.
After killing her, he tied her hands and feet behind her back, covered her with a bed sheet, and placed her body in the trunk of the car. He disposed of the girl's clothes in a wooded area and left the body in an adjoining parking lot. And then Miyazaki sent a postcard to her family, assembling using words cut out of magazines. And it said, Erica, cold, cough, throat, rest, and death. It's weird. On June 6th...
Because they're all so different.
Yeah.
They were like very... I don't know.
On June 6, 1989, Miyazaki convinced 5-year-old Ayako Nomoto to allow him to take pictures of her. He then led her into his car and murdered her. He covered the corpse with a bed sheet and placed her in the trunk of his car, taking the body to his apartment. He spent the next 2 days engaging in sexual acts with the corpse and taking pictures of it in various positions and filming it. When the body began to decompose, Miyazaki dismembered it and abandoned the torso in a cemetery and the head in nearby hills. He kept the hands, from which he drank blood and ate part of them. Fearing that the police would find the corpse, he returned to the cemetery and the hills 2 weeks later and carried the remains back to his apartment where he hid them in the closet. These are very different extremes.
Yeah.
And very different ways of killing these little girls, and I don't understand any of them. I don't get it.
No.
I don't get what he was trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
Psychologically, in a sick way, what he was trying to accomplish doing all this. Yeah. It seems...
Or where it could have come from, like, why... It's just... What?
It's weird. No, it's weird, because... Like, the first one, he spent time with her and then killed her and then took the clothes. And then the second one, he wasted no time at all. Took the clothes. And then the third one...
He just, like, picked her up the side of the road.
And then
the other one...
And then he took pictures of her naked first, then killed her. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Me neither.
But it does seem to be escalating from just killing and raping to killing, raping, eating, drinking blood. It seems like an escalation. Then he was arrested. On July 23rd, 1989, Miyazaki saw 2 sisters playing in a park. He managed to separate the younger sister from the older one, who stayed behind. The older sister then ran home to the father, who returned to find Miyazaki taking pictures of the younger daughter who he had convinced to strip, and she was naked.
Yeah.
The father attacked...
and the dad found them?
Yeah, the father attacked Miyazaki but was unable to restrain him. But after fleeing on foot, Miyazaki returned to the park to retrieve his car, where he was arrested by police who responded to the call from the father.
Good.
I know. Here's where things get, like, really, I don't know, weird.
Weird is an understatement.
Weird is weird. Weird is, yeah, an understatement. So the police searched Miyazaki's house. Mm-hmm. He had a 2-room bungalow, and he had produced 5,763 tapes, some containing anime and some slasher films, and then he blamed those slasher films for his crimes.
If you could see the da face that I'm making right now.
No, yeah. She's like, dude, no. No. Among these videos were footage and pictures of his victims. And he had like a huge collection of horror films. And he said, this is what you told me. You had mentioned that they called him the Rat Man. Remember when we were talking once? And it's because he said that a rat had talked to him and like convinced him to do all this shit. Total bullshit, okay? Total your face. Total bullshit.
Sorry. So wait. Was he trying to play dumb for the
I think so. It's just that, you know, what's his name? Ed Kemper? Or I don't know what other serial killer also blamed like an entity. There's 2. I know 2 of them.
No, not Ed Kemper.
Was it BTK? Shit, I don't remember.
No. Oh my god.
Anyway.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there's other serial killers who like blame entities for their crimes, which is like, okay, it's a bullshit excuse. Yeah. But like this guy was blaming a rat. A rat. And so they called him the Rat Man. Well, anyway, he remained really calm and collected and, you know, to himself during the trial. And he totally appeared indifferent to
what he did.
His killings caused a moral panic against otaku. If you don't know what otaku is, it's like, how do I explain it? Otaku is a Japanese term for people that are like obsessed with mangas or with anime, right? You know, otaku, like what we say here.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah. And, well...
We've known a few in our day, Paula.
No, yeah, I know. Like I said, his killings caused, like, this moral panic against otaku because people were like, holy shit, horror movies and anime made him do this. Same shit that happened with Marilyn Manson during Columbine.
Oh, my God.
People were like, oh, it's Marilyn Manson's fault. Like, no.
No, he had nothing to do with it.
Newspapers claimed that Miyazaki retreated into the world of fantasy, you know, in these movies and books, because of his neglected upbringing, which is, you know, makes sense.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
no, I'm just saying it makes
yes.
sense. It makes sense that you're like in a neglected family, and then you resort to books and to movies to like get away from it.
Oh yeah, sorry. I thought you were saying that he killed because he was neglected.
Oh no. Yeah, and so the trial that he went through began on March 30th, 1990. And like I said, Miyazaki blamed his actions on Ratman, which was an alter ego. And he spent time during the trial, you know, when the trial was going on, drawing a rat in a cartoon form.
Drawing a rat?
Yeah. His father, Miyazaki's father, the dude who owned this newspaper in his town, refused to pay for his son's legal expenses and committed suicide in 1994.
Oh no.
This trial that lasted 7 years focused on Miyazaki's mental state at the time. And under Japanese law, people who are not of sound mind are not subjected to punishment. Because, you know, it's like you're not well at the time, you don't know what you're doing, because you're sick, things like that. And 3 teams of court-appointed expert psychiatrists came to the conclusion that Miyazaki did have the ability to tell right from wrong. He totally knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
And one team decided that he was schizophrenic, and the other said that he had multiple personality disorder. And a third team found that even though Miyazaki maybe did have a personality disorder, he was still capable of telling right from wrong and could be held responsible for his actions. He was sentenced to death on April 14th, 1987, and he described his serial murders as a, quote, act of benevolence. And yeah, he's horrible. And he signed his death warrant, and Miyazaki was hanged on June 17th, 2008. 2008. This happened in the 80s.
Long.
Yeah, and it was just like a trial that lasted 7 years, and then it took so long for his execution. And yeah, that's the end of it. But should people like this be killed? I feel like it's too easy
To kill them?
to kill them. But
having them alive, what is it going to teach to other serial killers? Nothing.
no, that's true.
It's not a lesson to be learned. It's just pay for what you did. Like, that's the way that I see it. But also, I don't know, I feel like dying like that, like you said, it's way too easy. Like, it's having them rest in peace at the end of the day.
Right.
So I'd rather have them suffer in jail in the conditions that they have. But at the same time, I'm paying for it with my taxes. I don't live in Japan, but if it was here...
No, yeah, but I feel like...
with my taxes, you know?
Maybe a more suitable punishment, maybe, I'm just saying, would be to have them suffer what their victims suffered. It's like revenge, karma kind of thing. I don't know. I am still very undecided on the death penalty, to be honest.
Me too. I feel like mild torture mild torture might be better. It's like in the between. Like, you're not killing them, you're not just having them in jail to live for the rest of their lives. It's like, throw them in a room like once in a while and, you know, play the same theme song over and over until they go crazy. Something like that. It's technically not physical abuse, but it is mental abuse, so.
You should have Peppa Pig on replay, like every episode of Peppa Pig. In a room.
I just saw a tweet today, and it was, you know who Super Nanny is?
Oh, yeah.
And it said Peppa Pig after hearing like new pop music, and it was that clip of Super Nanny going, "It looks like you guys are in trouble. I'm on my way." And that died. Okay, I just need to say that. But yeah, something like that, you know what I mean? It's like, they don't have to be in torture 24/7, but, you know.
No, yeah. No, I get it. By the way, I am loving, going towards a different subject, I am loving the whole Area 51 thing. It's made me so happy these last couple of days.
I know.
All the memes are just hilarious.
They're the best.
But you know what I was really mad about? That they made like this poster, Lollapalooza kind of thing, where they listed like all the artists that are gonna be at Area 51 concert festival. And you know who they didn't put on the poster?
Who?
Eiffel 65.
Who?
I'm blue, da ba dee da ba da ba dee. That song is about
why?
an alien.
You know why?
Why?
Because they'll be running Naruto running.
Oh god.
In so they can't perform.
But guys, remember, the anti-vaxxers go first.
Yes.
Anti-vaxxers go first.
There are shield,
Yeah.
and then we Naruto run inside.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna die anyway, so what the fuck?
Exactly. Doesn't matter if it's like today or tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, so I hope you like the story of this dude that's freaking scary.
It was terrifying.
And I can't wait till you guys, the listeners, look at the pictures of his hands.
Oh my god.
It's the scariest fucking thing ever. It's like, I don't know.
It's just gross.
It's gross.
You know what I imagine? Have you ever heard of that creepypasta? That woman that allegedly walked into like a hospital and she just had like, she was completely pale.
Yeah.
She was being erratic.
Yeah.
And then she just walked out. She killed everyone, walked out, and nobody ever saw her again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I imagine her and her hands. Like, those are her hands. That's what it looks like to me.
Mm. I was gonna say like Slender Man hands because they look really long, but no, you're right. It's more her hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, because since they're fused together, all the joints are fused together, they're just like really long. I don't know.
Like,
I can't wait till you see it.
Skeletal. It's weird.
But yeah, this dude, I've only...
And just to think, now I'm thinking about it, that he did that to them, and it was with those hands. Oh my god.
It's like Richard Ramirez's teeth.
Oh, because he had them sharpened?
No, because
Was that
Richard
him?
Ramirez had a diet of candy and Pepsi, and his teeth were all
So he
rotten.
had no teeth.
And his teeth were rotten, and even the victims that survived, they were like, his breath was horrible.
Oh, okay. Who was it? I remember seeing somebody who had like their teeth sharpened. I need to look this up.
Yeah. No, but, yeah, I never heard of him before, like, Instagram told me about this dude. And, yeah, it's a pretty creepy story.
It is creepy.
Like, you get rape and necrophilia and a bunch of shit. You get everything in this story.
Yeah. It just makes me a little mad. And that he tried to play it dumb. It's like, come on, dude.
Well, I'm gonna
Don't
act
be like that bitch that cries in court.
I'm gonna act like a
she
psycho.
drowned her baby.
By the way, I told my mom about Anna Delvey.
Okay.
And my mom is like, we gotta do it. And I'm like, you can't do it because we're tan. We don't look white. We have to look white or people aren't gonna believe us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who was I talking to the other day? And they were like, oh my god. What?
You know who could totally do it? Who could pass off like as a rich person?
Who?
John.
Oh, for sure.
Because he looks European. I'm gonna totally convince him to do this.
Yep.
Yay, I'll give you commission.
Do it. Okay.
What were you saying? Who did you talk to about this?
Somebody, I think it might have been my sister. She's like, what the fuck, the new story, like the new episode? And she's like, she literally bamboozled everyone.
Yeah.
And she goes, that girl's gonna be out in no time. Like,
yeah.
Not even 4 years or 3 years. She's gonna be out in no time.
Yeah, and my mom is like, well, she's still gonna have to pay back the money she owes, like a fee.
How is she gonna pay it back?
And I'm like, yeah, but she has a contract with Netflix, and 2 book deals, so like
she'll pay back and then some.
Yeah. So
she'll be fine.
You know, as there's this dude who represents a lot of what's it called, like organizations in the Black community. His name is DeRay. And he says, watch whiteness work. And this is a case of watching whiteness work.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, people, let's end this. Because you have to go and I have to go. I have to go
Yes.
buy shit. So, people, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please find us on social media at Undercover Coven, and you can email us at undercovercoven@gmail.com. And if you can, we would really appreciate if you donated a little bit of your cents to coffee.com/undercovercoven. It's ko-fi.com/undercovercoven.
Yeah.
It would be really cool because our electronics, seriously, this is not for my tire, for my car. This is because our shit is really is failing.
It's just
us.
not working. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, people, we'll see you next week with another episode. Bye. Bye.